啊，小迪，那个前两天爸爸给你看的这个电影，OK，The Big Short，中文是大空头，这个是讲的是那个2008年的金融危机啊，这么一部电影。那么你觉得爸爸为什么给你看这个电影啊？有没有什么 big lesson 啊？可以就是说大的教训可以从这个里面学到的？
觉得让我看，因为让我知道像那个 finance 是怎么 work，像那个 Wall Street 是就是怎么 work as well。我是觉得我是 learn a bit about 那个 crash 在那个2016，我就觉得就学一点。
good. OK，actually，当爸爸第一次看到这个电影的时候啊，在我的 mind 里面，我的脑袋里面马上想到一个什么东西，就是爸爸觉得这个电影一定要你看啊，因为有一个非常非常重要的点，这个电影里面可以教你，OK，这个就是这样的，就是说，在金融市场上面，我们怎么能赚到钱？OK，不管是不是在金融市场上面，还是在 anywhere in any industry，right？How you make money？OK，它是这么一个道理，就是说，很多人认为啊，如果你很聪明，OK，你发现一个大家不知道的东西，对不对？你就是you just find out the first knowledge of truth，那么很多人认为的话，你就可以赚到钱。比如说啊，那个你比较懂那个叫 fruit 水果是不是？那么在英国的市场上面，其实有一种水果是从非洲来的啊，看起来像苹果，是吧？我们就叫它苹果 ，OK，非洲苹果。那么这边市场上的话都从来没见过，但是你知道，你去过非洲 ，OK，你知道这个苹果吃起来不好吃，很苦，根本不好吃，是不是？而且容易烂，OK。那么光你知道这个 knowledge，OK，你知道这个知识，OK，很多人以为这个就可以给你赚钱，OK，其实不一定，OK。那么其实真正能赚到钱的是什么呢？就是你要去预测，就市场是怎么反应的，就是说这个 how the market react，OK，而不是说 what true value is，而不是说真正的这个非洲苹果到底值多少钱。因为很多人可能是愿意出100块钱买这个苹果，你觉得 OK， 这个苹果根本不值这么多钱，是吧？你觉得它就值10块钱，你觉得你知道它的 real value 就是10块钱，那么你知道这个事实本身并不能让你赚钱 ，OK？ 因为有时候市场上有很多傻瓜，unfortunately，OK， 市场上有很多人都他不是理性的思考，他们很多傻瓜，有些人的话还听别人的意见 ，OK， 但是自己也不想。只要有人说这个好，他们就去买，是不是？就市场上很多人他不会是按照一个 clever guy way to think，OK。那么你比如说，虽然你知道这个非洲苹果它只值10块钱，但是呢，也有可能这市场上很多傻瓜，他们就想尝一尝这种非洲的东西，对不对 ？OK。那么他们可能还是愿意100块钱去买这个很糟糕的苹果，对不对？这个市场上不断的发生这种情况。你比如说有些化妆品，那个 makeup for female， 是不是？有些那个产品啊，他们就是2块钱的东西，OK， 但是呢，他们那个销售的话，他会把它天花乱坠，把这个那个 makeup 这个叫化妆品 ，OK， 说成是非常非常高科技的，是不是啊？运用了很多技术，说你好像你查一下那个涂了一下那个叫化妆品，你一下可以年轻10岁，会让你变得很漂亮，是不是很 beautiful？OK，那么很多女的话，很多 female 在市场上，她们很可能愿意去买这些东西，是不是？OK，所以市场上的傻瓜很多，但实际上的话，这个化妆品可能只值2块钱，但是它卖出来的话就1000块钱，依然有很多人去买，你知道这个情况是不是？
对。
所以说你知道一个真相。你知道这个 truth itself 不会让你 make money，有可能的话会让你亏钱，是不是？你发现了一个真相，但是有可能会让你亏钱。所以说，怎么才能赚钱？首先你要发现一个真相，对不对？然后你要预测这个市场 ，OK， 这个 market 他们是怎么 react to 这个真相的，是不是？或者说我们所谓的市场，就是说这些市场上的人，这些傻瓜是怎么 react 的，是不是？所以有句话一定要记住 ，OK， 就是所谓的傻逼的共识也是共识，OK， 傻逼就是说 stupid guy，OK， 共识就是说 how they think about a thing，OK， 这些傻逼的共识才是共识 ，OK， 如果你觉得你是聪明人啊，我很聪明 OK， 我觉得这个事情应该这样。OK， 我觉得 the market ought to be this way。OK， 那你就有可能你就亏钱了。OK， 因为这个 market actually full of stupid guy。actually created by stupid guy。OK， 你要赚钱，你要从 stupid guy 里面 take out from their pockets。OK， 所以说你要看到一个 truth， 你要想着这些 stupid guy。market 他们是怎么 react to 这个 truth 的。所以这个非常非常重要。OK， 千万不要以为他们太傻了，市场上的都很傻，我聪明，我知道这个东西，这个市场是 ought to be。OK， the problem 就是说 where the market actually is 才是 most important thing，而不是说 ought to be。ought to be 一个 theory。那么我们看是在这个电影里面，那个最早是那个 Dr. Michael Burning 是吧 ？Boring 是不是？Michael Burry， 他是一个 medical doctor 是不是？很聪明。OK， 那么 Wall Street 的话，他吸引了很多非常聪明的人，是不是？到那边去工作。那个 Doctor 的话，他是一个 Asperger， 他有一个 Asperger 那个 problem。OK，Asperger problem 的话，它是 difficult to socialize with other people， 他就是 very focus on themselves， 他们自己的 inner world。那么因为他非常专注于自己的那个 inner world， 是不是？所以他 kind of like sit down quietly listen to his heart， 是不是？他可以经常坐下来自己好好反思，思考很多问题。但是呢，别人的话呢，很多 socialized guy 的话呢，他们就是你想，如果他们 always socialize in 这个 financial circle， 他们就会被 influenced by other people 的 opinion， 是不是？如果所有的人都说这个市场上这个债券是不是？它那个叫 MBS 是不是？那个很值钱，值100块钱。他们大家都这么说了，那你很容易被他们 influence 了，是不是？很影响。你不可能说你们都错了，就应该是只是10块钱，是不是？那时候你要说出你的观点的时候，你可能会 too much consider other people's idea， 是不是？但是他的话，他是一个 Asperger mindset， 所以说他 kind of like very much listen to himself。所以说他因为他能够专注，非常 focus， OK， 所以他 actually 能够find something which other people didn't discover。OK， 所以他最早发现了那个通过这个数据的对比，发现这个MBS 就是次级债，就是 subprime 这个 bond， 是不是？他觉得他这个价值是高估的。OK， 市场上给他100块钱，他觉得可能只值10块钱。举个例子啊，OK， 他第一个发现。那么发现了以后的话呢，他就找银行去做空，是不是？OK， 相当于跟银行签一个对赌协议。OK， 对赌的过程当中的话，他们有个赔率，比如说1比10。OK， 那么如果这个市场保持平稳的话，没有下降的话 ，OK， 那个 Dr. Michael Burry 的话，他就要付给银行那个 premium。OK， 每个月付给银行 premium。OK， 如果真的像 Dr. Michael Burry 是预测的市场 actual crash， 是不是啊？OK，actual crash 的话，那银行要付给 Michael 10 times value of the 他们当时付的那个 premium。OK，那么就这个相当于一个赔率，像1比10还是1比20，这个是 depends on 他们两个人的 negotiation。OK，那么他发现actually 这个市场的一个高估了那个债券的价格，是不是？债券不是100块钱，应该是10块钱。OK，那么他通过那个 betting 去做对冲，是不是？要做空就是这个所谓的 big short 就是做空。OK，short 就是做空这个市场。他认为这个很快市场很快就会 drop down， 是不是？就会下降。但是呢 ，unfortunately 市场根本没有很快下降，是不是？市场是 actually last for quite a long time stable and even a bit increase。你看，所以说这里面你看到没两个事情，是市场 ought to be 应该 go down，ought to be 这理论上 in theory ought to be，but actually in reality 这个市场是 remain same or even go high。所以 ought to be 和 reality 它们完全是 apart different。看到没有？所以说有时候千万不要 always believe something in theory，right？Don't believe ought to be， 你要 look at what's the market like，give people what they like，是不是？所以说他 actually 很多是他 市场根本没有按照他预计去走，是不是？OK， 他本来是觉得3个月或者2个月以后就要go down了，但是没有，一直 go up， 一直 go up。在这个过程中，他 actually lost of money， 是不是？
对。
OK， 甚至因为他是搞基金的，是不是？他是一个基金经理，所以他的 investor， 他的 client 甚至要起诉他，是不是？他们都要把他的钱拿回来。OK， 但是呢，因为如果你投在基金里面的话呢，基金当时的话都有一个那个 term，OK， 这个 term 里面的话会说清楚，你这个钱放在他那里的话，这个 fund manager 他有 authority， 他 kind of like power，OK， to manage 这个 money。所以你钱放进去以后，你就不能随时随地拿回来。OK， 如果这个基金经理觉得你不能拿，你可能就拿不回来。OK， 所以说他最后他 use 这个 term，OK， 他 wrote email to every investor so that I have the power to decide， right？ And nobody can get the money back now。所以说，后来又 last a few months， right？Finally，OK，the market actually go down。OK， 所以他后来最后 make a lot of money，right？Like 489%，OK， of the money，OK，billions of profits。OK，虽然说他最后make money 了，但是他的预测的话，最终的结果是对的，但是他这个 timing 是 wrong。所以说这个就是很严重的问题。所以说你以后要在 financial 的市场里面赚钱，或者不管你做别的事情赚钱，这个 timing 很重要。OK， 比如说我举个例子，比如说我们现在英国，所有的人都穿木头鞋 ，OK， 然后你觉得这个 fashion 可能会影响到那个 Asia， 你觉得 China 可能也会 follow 这个 UK， 他们可能也会穿木头的鞋 ，wooden 那个 shoes，right？ 你觉得也会 ？OK。Fashion, maybe you're right. Fashion always spread from Western country to China， 是不是？对。但是的话，如果你现在的话开始买了1 million 这个1 million pair of shoes， made by wood，then you sell in China， 是吧？在中国去卖，很可能你会亏钱。OK， 因为为什么呢？因为这个 fashion 可能是 timing 你是不对，你可能是今年你卖这个鞋，中国那个 China people 还没有 accept the fashion， 可能是1 year or 2 years later。People start to accept the fashion. 2 years later, 如果 people do the same thing， 他们会 make money. 但是 you did the same thing actually 2 years early, then you lose all the money. You didn't make money. 所以 timing so important， 是不是？我们看到 from Michael Burry 他的 experience 里面，你发现是不是？最后 actually 这个 Michael Burry 是 act by luck，you know， 最后他 finally 他的 job done， 这个 MBS price right？ 如果这个 market actually hold for a bit more time，maybe 这个 Michael 会 go bankrupt。虽然说他 actually say something which is right，okay，but say something right itself sometimes not only couldn't make you money but also will cause you lose some money。So that's so complex, right？
对。
讲到他，那么还有一个事情，就是说为什么这个市场上当时是 ought to be drop off the price for MBS， 是不是？因为那个它是 overvalued 的，是不是 ？ought to be。但为什么这个市场没有 go as he actually predicted go down so at early stage 呢？为什么这个 market still even go up 呢 ？OK， 这个就是非常another 非常 deeper concern 了。OK， 因为 even after newspaper， 他们那时候已经 published some case，right？Some company even they already go bankrupt, right? And many people find that the price of MBS was actually overvalued, right? The price actually still going up. 这个是为什么呢？因为这些 transaction actually sourced and managed, okay, arranged by big investment bank, right? Like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, right? The Lehman Brothers, right? 都是他们在 organize 这些 transaction, right? 他们对于这些 transaction 的，他可以 earn money, like 2% of the fees, right? And not only 不仅仅他们是在 not only they arrange the transaction, but also this big bank they hold some of the MBS. 这些 bank actually 他自己也 buy some MBS 的，你知道没有啊？所以说它有2个 rule。Okay, first rule is that 它是作为一个 agency, right? 它是一个 service provider. Okay, 他们就是 get 这些 MBS， 然后 securitize 这些 MBS， split big mortgage loan contract right, into small pieces of securities, right, financial products like £1 each, for example. 然后 individual investor in the market can buy this kind of securities, right? And also big institution also can buy this kind of securities. This bank at the beginning 他们认为这个价格它会他们这个 value 是 quite high very strong security， 所以说他们觉得它是一个 high quality investment, right? 所以他们自己也有一个 big portion of the asset of MBS, you know? And when they actually some newspaper already published, you know, the problem, right? 这些 bank 他们 still pretend nothing happened， 他们 still trade with each other with nominal value, with high value。你知道为什么？因为他们 have to pretend 他们这个 value not drop， 因为 as soon as 如果 the bank actually accept the low value 的话，
对，
他们自己的那个他们自己的头寸，在金融里面讲，他们的头寸就相当于他们的holding assets of MBS， 他们也会 drop down。
对。
因为这个 overprice too much, right? For example， 原来是100块钱，现在只有10块钱了，所以里面的 gap is so big。所以说这些那个 rules it's enough to make a big bank corrupt. Okay, collapse. Enough to make this bank collapse. 所以说这个 bank cannot afford to admit, okay, the overvalue of the MBS. 你知道为什么？这是为什么？
对。
Okay， 所以他们就 turn eye blind to trade. So it's really funny, but actually. Morally and legally, this bank is totally made a mistake, right? 他们 no any moral standard, 你知道 ？OK， 因为他们已经知道这个secretaries, OK, not worth the money as it is. 他们 still trade, you know, as a high value. 这相当于是什么呢？就是说，相当于你是有一个苹果。是不是你是卖苹果的？这个苹果你已经知道这里面是赖的，里面有虫子，你还是 pretend 这个苹果是好虫子、好苹果，你还是 sell to 你的 clients，你还是在 sell。
对。这
个是不是 legally and also morally wrong 啊？
对。
这个是 actually amount to kind of like fraudulent. It's fraud, right? Clearly, okay? Okay, it's so funny, right? If you sell apple, right? Sell bad apple knowingly to customers, right? You will hold the law will hold you liable, right, for fraud.
Yeah.
Okay, but in theory, okay, the financial products is even much big value, right? And in theory, this big bank, investment bank, should be hold liable, right? And many people should be put into prison, right? And later I'm going to tell you, right? Later we will find out what the government actually do, right? Okay, so 我们刚刚讲到那个 Dr. Michael Burry, right? Okay, 除了那个 Michael， 他是 first guy actually find the true value of the MBS, right? Then, 这个电影里面 you talk about another two guys, these two guys, they also find, okay, the MBS was overpriced, right? And also. Another two boys with this guy, right? Also find out, okay? So this guy is called this guy is Jared, okay? Jared, and they find the problem. Then they approach to this guy, which is Mark, right? Okay, and he actually tried to sell some like betting to him, right? Okay, he bought some products from him, right? And two boys. And actually, they also quite clever. Okay, they have very little money at the beginning, right? Like thousands of pounds or dollars at the beginning, and with some clever way of trading, actually increase the value of financial products to how much is 30 million, right? 30 million. Okay. Actually, they're quite successful, right? The two boys. It's called Jeremy and Charlie, right? And they read the newspapers. They find some way. Actually, they want to big investment bank, right? They try to approach to Goldman Sachs, I think, or JP Morgan or something. They try to actually have a trading seat in the bank.
Yeah.
Okay. But the bank said that unfortunately, right? You looks like you have been made a success of your fund, right? A small fund, which is 30 million, right? But the 30 million but the thing that's the minimum requirement to have a seat, right, with trading seat with JP Morgan, it's going to be 1.6 billion, right? So the two boys felt disappointed, right? And then when they sat down in the hall of the big building, right, they find some other materials which left by other guys, right, which actually prepared by Dr. Michael Burry, right? When they read the material, they actually understand, okay, the enormous problem, okay. So they also kind of like do the short, okay, in the trading for the MBS, right? So actually at the end, right, the three group of people, right, they all actually made money, right? But if the thing is that if I am the director, right, if I am making the film, right, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to, from the three group of people, I'm going to make at least one group of people go bankrupt, okay? Because I want to tell you the lesson which I just told, right? So even you actually find the truth, you have the first knowledge of the truth, but it will not necessarily make you money, right? It will maybe cost you lose money. So I want to make one story sad, okay? For example, the two boys, I want to make them go bankrupt, okay? Because although they can see the result, right? Final result of the drop down of the price, but the timing totally wrong. They couldn't hold for so many months, right? Well, the thing that's the film is actually based on the true story. That's why the director didn't make a tragedy story, okay? But if the director did make a tragedy story, I think it will give the audience even big lesson, even deep lesson, right? Okay. And the funny thing, which I can tell you, is that Dr. Michael Burry, right?
Yeah.
And we all admire him, right? Because he's the guy who actually find the truth, which so many experts tend to blind eye on, right? And the funny thing is that after 2006, right?
Yeah.
Because this is based on true story, right? There are actually a trader, right? Fund manager called Michael Burry. It's true figure, right?
Yeah.
After the crisis, he's still trading, right, in the market. But the thing that he didn't make any success, not any success, but he never ever made a big success as he used to in the 2008 in the crisis. Okay, so it means that even for clever guy, when you try to bet against the market, right? It's always difficult, you cannot like win. If you make a 10 prediction, it's difficult to be the case that every time you win, right? For him, maybe he starting from the 2008 crisis, right? He made like in future altogether he made a 10 or 20 betting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He always like to do short, right? Do shorting, right? Short of the trading. 10 times prediction, he maybe just make correct for the first time. Okay, for the rest of 9 predicting, maybe all go wrong. Even for a guy as clever as this one. Okay, for example, in some recent year transaction for Tesla, right?
Yeah.
He actually called big short on Tesla. He said that Tesla is going down, but unfortunately, Elon Musk actually made the Tesla still going up. So he actually lost the money on Tesla. Okay, yeah, and I think he also still do research. Okay, publish his research, and some getting right, some getting wrong. Okay, not as clever movement predicting as before. Okay, so it means that the second biggest lesson say that okay, if you happen to make a clever decision, listen, okay, it doesn't mean that you can always make a decision correct decision in future. In Chinese 就是说，如果这一次你做了一个非常聪明的决定 ，OK， 这个决定的话给你带来很多钱，OK， 这并不意味着就是说你下次做决策的时候你还会对，并不意味着你每次都对，OK， 所以说这是为什么这些 big company，for example， 给你一个 example， 现在我们做那个 take photo 的时候，那个我们都是用那个 digital camera， 是不是？
Yeah.
但是以前的话，我们没有 digital camera，我们都是用的那个这个 physical camera， 是不是？这个老式的那个摄像机。那时候我们里面会有胶卷 ，OK，raw of 这个叫英语叫什么？那这胶卷里面的。那一个 raw of 那个东西，你没看到过？一个胶卷就是放在里面，放在照相机里面拍照的这个东西 ，OK， 最后把它拉长，里面是一张照片。raw film 是不是？对。以前是用这个东西的话，那有2家公司是最大的，一个是日本的叫富士，还有一个是美国的叫柯达。OK， 柯达那时候是 giant in business in this industry, right? Actually, 柯达 made lots of right decision. Actually, he became number 1, right, in the industry. He also invented lots of new products in this area, right? 柯达 just like Dr. Michael Burry, right?柯达 used to make wise decision, used to make big success based on the right decision. Okay, but as I said, right, once you made a big decision which turned out to be wise one, doesn't mean that all your future decision will turn out to be correct. No, okay. 所以说柯达后来的话，他 almost go bankrupt. Okay, actually, 他那时候柯达已经有这个技术了，Kodak actually has a technology of digital camera, but unfortunately they decided not to release it to the market. Okay, that's why they lose, the new tide of the business in digital world. Okay, 那么就像爸爸有时候 ，okay, maybe sometimes when I talk to you, I made something correct, right? Correct point. Okay, it doesn't mean that I made a correct point in this thing when I talk to you, right? It doesn't mean that Daddy can always right in other things. Okay, Daddy can be right in this thing, right? Daddy also can be wrong in other things. Okay, so when you deal with me, right, you shouldn't like listen to what all the Daddy said, right? You should take an approach say that okay, only if the points which Daddy made is correct, then I prepare to listen. Sometimes when Daddy didn't make a good point, right, and you can choose not to listen to me. Okay, you should focus on the thing, the point itself. You should not focus on the person, whoever that guy to be your dad or not. Okay. So for example, later you go to university, if a clever professor, right, a famous professor tell you something, okay, you think, okay, hey, what he says is right, you just take it. Okay, but the famous professor can also make a mistake. If he makes a mistake, you just can choose not to listen to him. Okay, so it's爸爸告诉你的话 you should more focus on the point, the thing. Okay, not the person. Okay. Sometimes when we talk about things, we come to some arguments, right? And that's okay. We can have some arguments, but I hope that you are not going to put your focus on winning the argument itself. I hope that you put your focus on the thing, why we argue. Okay? Well, I hope that you put the focus on finding out the truth. Okay? Not just win the argument, okay? Because winning argument doesn't matter anything. Okay, 我们刚刚讲到这个，the second 还有一个third point, okay, which I like to learn from the movie is that don't trust the expert. Okay, don't trust the expert. Because in many situations, okay, there is conflicts of interest. Okay, for example, like investment bank, like JP Morgan, right, and Goldman Sachs, right, and looks like they are expert in the industry, right? They have so many clever financial experts. And if you are investor, okay, you shouldn't just listen to listen to a big bank, okay, brainlessly. Okay, you should always have a spirit of questioning, suspect, okay, because this bank, when they arrange the MBS, right? Investment MBS, right? And they actually can make money.
Yeah.
Right? They for quite a long time ago, they already found the true value, but they pretend, right? Nothing changed.
Yeah.
Okay? Why? Because they want to make money. Why? Because they don't want to suffer the loss from the crash of the market.
Yeah.
Okay? And same, okay? And not only investment bank, but same if you approach accountant, approach a lawyer, right? So sometimes lawyer want to make money from you, right? Even though your case is not that difficult, right? And maybe you have easier way to sort out the issue. But sometimes if the lawyer, find themselves in a position that they want to make money, they could exaggerate the case, right? And they could find a complex way to deal with it. Just want to make more money from you.
Yeah.
So in that case, also something happened is in China, and a few weeks ago, a little baby, right? They got some problem. I think I just that little girl, baby girl, just like 4 months years old. Okay, the doctor actually found something. I think a small hole in her heart. Okay, so and when they consulted a doctor, right? The doctor said that it's better to do operation as soon as possible. Okay, then the parents followed the doctor's advice. Then they just go for operation. Unfortunately, the operation turned out to be a failure. The parents lost the little baby girl. And when the parents published the case to the internet, right? And many other people and say that it's still a possibility that the doctor didn't give the right advice, right? So yeah, I think although we are not in a position to find the truth, right? But still possible, right? Because the doctor just wants to make money from the operation of the case, right? Because in China, the parents need to pay money, lots of money, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that I know the truth. I don't know the truth, but I think that is still possible. If you are parents, right? If you are in this situation, when we understand, right, the principle, not trust expert, okay, and because they always have possibility of the conflict of interest, right?
Yeah.
The right thing to do, okay, the lesson we can draw is that at least you can consult at least 3 doctors, right? If 3 doctors give a different opinion, right? It's easy to help you to find the truth, right? Okay. So also like in the movie, right?
Yeah.
So many financial experts, right? They're so clever from MIT, from Harvard, right? Everywhere, big top universities, right? They're supposed to not make such a silly mistake, to value, to see MBS, right? Which is only worth £10, right? $10, they give the value of £200. It's so easy a mistake. Clever people are supposed to understand, but they didn't. Okay, why? Because of one thing, first point that they are greedy. They just want to make money. They don't want to find the truth, right? Okay. The secondly is that sometimes they are not as clever as you think. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, a lesson we need to learn, right?
Yeah.
When you face a person, right? I think it's better you have to ask yourself, like, what his position is, right? If he is in a position to make money from the transaction, right? If he actually from a independent third party position, that's different, right? You have to find out what position. If this guy will actually can get money from the advice which he gives you, okay? So the fourth lesson, okay, we can learn is that actually we already mentioned before, so that if you sell bad apple knowingly to the consumer, it might be kind of like fraud or cheating, right? And but the sad thing is that after 2008 crisis, right? And the government actually it didn't hold any high position banker liable for the crisis, right? except for one, right, who actually a trader in Credit Suisse, right? Just one person. It's also he's not high-ranking guys, but actually, it is high-ranking guy. They should be hold a liability, right?
Yeah.
And why? Because that our society just like a pyramid, like a pyramid, right? And on the bottom, always like lay people, general people, like working class people, and above that is middle class. Then like a high-ranking guy. Then on the top is like top position, right? So on the top, right, people they can trading interest between each other, right? And politician can trade the power, right? Then the business guy can trade their money, financial resources, right? So they find a way to connect with each other. Okay, so when bad thing comes, they tend to cover with each other, cover for each other. Okay, so it's so sad, right? And all what he said in this movie said how many people lost their jobs because of crisis?
I think it was said 6 million.
6 or 8 million people, right, lost job. It's crazy.
8 million.
How many people lose their houses?
I think it was pretty around 8 million as well, around the same.
I think about 5 to 6 million. Right? I think they mentioned figure was 6 million. Okay, lost their houses, homes. Okay, and this high-ranking guys in the investment bank, they still feel safe, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why, and so many young people nowadays, they work hard to climb, you know, the social ladder. They will try to move to that, okay, and yeah. So, and now we come to the question: why so many, you know, bottom people they lose their homes? Do you know why they lose homes?
I think
because of the crisis. How it happened?
I think it was because I think it's, I'm not really too sure about it. It was to do with like how the banks gave loans recklessly.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
To what?
To like people who didn't really have I guess enough of credibility and like enough of that. So they basically took the mortgage as what's the thing called? The mortgage as
MBS?
Yeah, but like as
there's a lending bank. Okay, the lending bank gives loan to the homeowner.
Yeah.
Then the bank has asset like based on the loan agreement. And then the lending bank, like a mortgage bank, source this kind of financial asset to investment bank.
Yeah.
The investment bank is doing a process of securitization. Okay, and in the process, the investment bank is going to invite the rating agency like S&P and Moody, right, and Morningstar. They invest the rating agency to assess the financial mechanism and give a rate, and all the rating agency and they just run for money. Okay, because if S&P didn't rate the financial products as 5-star, then investment bank obviously is going to next agency like Morningstar, right?
Yeah.
So in order to make money for S&P, okay, they always choose to give 5-star, right? So that's why I tell you, a lesson which we learned before: don't trust the expert. The rating agency is supposed to be expert, right? They have all the expertise to find the true value of the MBS, the financial products. But because they want to make money, right? They have interest of the conflict of interest, right? So they actually didn't do their job. They turned a blind eye, right, on the poor quality of the MBS. They just give 5-star. Ironically, you know, at the end of the game, and the rating agency says, in the same situation, they've never been held responsible
Yeah.
for their fraudulent action. Okay, so we're going to go back to the mechanism, securitization process, right? The rating agency give 5-star. Then because they give 5-star, all the individual investors they trust the rating agency, right? So they just buy the securities. Okay. The thing is that when the ordinary people who actually before they bought the house, right? The thing is that they have assumption, say that the house market always keep going on, right? Going up. If the house market going up, and some people in the movie say that a strip dancer, right? She has 5 houses, right? She always says she couldn't afford to pay the mortgage every month, right? What she was doing is that she used a mechanism called refinance, right? The property to get more money, right? But obviously, it only works if the housing market going up. Okay, when something going wrong, and all the market collapse, right? And the strip dancers couldn't have enough money to pay monthly mortgage.
Yeah.
So the bank, the mortgage bank has to sell property. Okay, if just one property to sell in the market, that's fine. 2 properties also fine. But the thing that what about because before the mortgage bank gave the loan recklessly, even a dog can even some people just got a loan on a dog's name, right? So because if the lending bank gives money without checking, okay, so now so many half of the property, right? The people couldn't afford the mortgage, right? So then imagine half of the property house, right, going to the market to be sold.
Yeah.
So of course the price is going down. Okay, that's why all the market housing market bubble, bursted.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why so many people lost their jobs. Okay, and for other people, even they can afford to the mortgage fee, their house value also dropped down. For example, like half, right? So the bottom people suffer the most, right? Okay. Well, okay. So do you think it's a good movie? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good movie. I think it actually taught me quite a lot about, because I didn't really know much about the crash before. And they sort of gave me a bit of background.
Yeah.
I also think that, it also just taught me quite a lot about finance and about Wall Street.
How many stars are you going to give it?
I think maybe 4.5.
1.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Quite good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fairly. Yeah. Yeah. That's all for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.